Go live in Dayton. More than 100 police cruisers have now turned them on. Mamie Bond joins us live from DPD now. Maybe this is the only part one of this implementation process, right?
That's right, Adam, and you can find those readers inside of the police cruisers. This is just one of 120 cruisers that have flipped the on switch. Now I'm told the number of plates read will depend on the number of cars the cruiser is around and also the time of day and also week. Now I reached out to Commissioner Darrell Fairchild, who expressed opposition when it came to the system going live, citing Fourth Amendment concerns and privacy. When I reached out to him, he told me that there are still some vulnerability issues that need to be ironed out.
This data that we're collecting is going to be subject to public records requests. There's a question around whether this infringes on innocent citizens.
So maybe this is for the mobile plate readers. When will the fixed ones go live?
Well, no word on that just yet at this time. We just do know at this time that when it comes to those fixed plate readers, there is a process in place. Now, communities can request them, and if statistics support it, the police department tells me that they will put a fixed reader in those places. But right now, they're still ironing out those details, and of course, they want community input, and they want everyone to feel like they have a voice. I'm told that when it comes to those fixed readers, they're included in the neighborhood safety plans. And coming up later on at 6:30, we'll hear more from officials what's next and how you can make sure your voice is heard. Back to you.
Mamie, thank you. Students in the state's largest district return to class a week from today. Whether or not they have teachers, though, may come down to what happens tomorrow. The Teachers Union and Columbus City School Board will meet again. Tom Bosco takes a look at the frustrations on both sides and whether parents in the community are backing the teachers or the district.
We are between two negotiation days for the Columbus City School District and its teachers union. They met yesterday, expected to meet tomorrow again as well. But today, on this day in between, we were trying to figure out who is winning the public opinion battle between the two sides. It's not a very scientific way to look at it, but if you look at social media, it would appear that the teachers have the overwhelming support right now. Of course, that is before a potential strike. If they do walk, we'll see if public opinion changes. Here's where we are on that. The teachers again will meet with the city school district tomorrow. Then on Sunday, they will take a strike vote. If they authorize a strike, they could be on picket lines as soon as Monday, which is 2 days before school starts here in Columbus. Guys, back to you.
Tom, thanks. And college students in the Miami Valley gearing up for fall classes today. Wright State University students started moving into dorms today. From today through Friday, the university expecting over 1,500 students to move to Wright State's campus.
We have more students moving in over the course of the next couple of days and compared to previous COVID years. So we're kind of on the uptick and recovering from COVID numbers. And we're excited because we're welcoming a couple hundred more students than we had last year.
All students required to take a COVID test before moving in. Wright State University is planning to hold several events and activities for the first-year students throughout the weekend. Classes then start on Monday. And the University of Dayton expecting a record number of new students going into the new academic year. UD's projecting 12,000 or so students. Now this includes undergrad, graduate, doctoral, and law students. Students at UD will begin moving in on August 19th and classes start the 22nd. Now, as many students are returning to the classroom, a big focus is on student and staff safety. As Jenna Cisneros found out, some area districts are adding more school resource officers this year.
Middletown City Schools is doubling the amount of school resource officers they have from 3 to 6 this year. And West Claremont just announced a new SRO hire for their elementary schools. The district will now have a total of 4 SROs, 2 at the high school, 1 for the middle school, and now 1 who will cover a majority of the elementary schools. West Claremont is utilizing grant money to secure an additional school resource officer. Officer Michael Ventre is filling the new SRO position.
Ultimately, I just want the kids to know that a police officer is still a friendly face, somebody that they can come up to in a time of need, or if they just have questions and just want to say hi, give a high five to, something along those lines.
In addition to West Claremont and Middletown adding more school resource officers, the Little Miami School District is adding a 3rd officer to the district that'll serve at Little Miami Primary School. Reporting in Cincinnati, I'm Jenna Cisneros. Back to you.
School districts across the Miami Valley returning to school today. That includes Centerville City Schools, who welcome students back to class. Now, several districts are returning to school tomorrow. We want to highlight a few of those. That includes Kettering City Schools, Vandalia Butler City Schools, Yellow Spring schools, and Botkins local schools. Now, there are also several schools and districts that are still waiting to start. We've got a full list on our website. That's at Dayton247now.com. Well, many of you are sharing your back-to-school photos. Felicia's sharing this great picture with us there. And this picture comes to us from Betsy. It's of Owen and Emma, who are starting their sophomore year of high school. And our morning anchor, Nathan Edwards, sent this adorable picture of his son, Hudson. He started kindergarten today. And Danielle sharing this picture of Jamie, who had her first day of high school. Thanks very much to everyone for sharing your photos with us. And parents, we'd love to show off your kids' back-to-school photos, too. You can share them with us through our Chime In. Just grab your phones, you scan that QR code you see on your screen. It'll take you to our Chime In page. And you can then upload those photos and videos right to us. You might even see them live here on the air. Well, it might have felt a little bit hotter today. Was it a little bit hotter today, Natalie? It felt a little warmer.
It was, yes.
Yeah?
You would be correct.
Okay, all right.
Climbed into the lower 80s
Okay,
today.
because we got a little spoiled yesterday because it felt a little cooler yesterday.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of a breeze. It is cooling down just a bit because we do have a couple of showers that have managed to pop up. So that's a factor in our weather right now. But we did see a warmer day with some 80s across the area, lower 80s, and some more sunshine. But now we have a couple of showers popping up. In fact, you can see just north of Miamisburg, south of Washington Township, moving in from the Centerville area, south into Warren County. And we also have just north of Xenia, a light shower that has developed there with 80s across the board, 74 up in Wapakoneta, 80 in Dayton, which is a little cooler than where we were earlier. And we'll continue to see a little drop in our temperatures as we do start to see a little more in the way of some shower activity popping up. But 58 overnight, could see some patchy fog through the overnight hours too. But coming up, going to be talking about even warmer forecasts ahead and when we'll see some bigger rain chances too.
Natalie, thanks to CDC continuing to track monkeypox cases in the U.S. You can see the U.S. has already surpassed 13,000 now. In Ohio, that number stands at 119. The demand for the monkeypox vaccine, though, remains high as there's not enough to go around. The manufacturer of the Jynneos vaccine says it's no longer able to meet certain demand. Meanwhile, the drug maker Bavarian Nordic says it's pushed back on the White House's plan to split doses. The company's chief executive says the Biden administration breaching contracts with the new plan. Meanwhile, Ohio health officials are warning the response is already behind schedule.
We have a small window of opportunity to stop transmission in the United States, and we need to take every effort and make every investment to not allow this to become a permanently established endemic disease in the United States.
Despite us knowing the total of confirmed cases in the country, the U.S. lacks any data on who's gotten the vaccine. Former New York City mayor and personal lawyer to President Trump, Rudy Giuliani, on the hot seat tonight. He's testifying before a special grand jury in Atlanta today. It's part of the investigation into the 2020 presidential election interference in Georgia. Giuliani has been told he's a target in the probe. He was part of the Trump team that pressed Georgia officials to reverse the state's results, despite no evidence of widespread fraud. Giuliani says he won't comment on this until the investigation is over. We are also hearing tonight from Congresswoman Liz Cheney, less than 24 hours after her defeat in yesterday's Wyoming primary. The Congresswoman lost by a large margin, but says her work is far from over, even hinting at a 2024 presidential bid, even if that means derailing former President Donald Trump.
And I think that defeating him is going to require a broad and united front of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And that's what I intend to be part of.
Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
The Wyoming Republican is already launching a super PAC to attract wealthy anti-Trump Republican donors. The group is likely to serve as a political vehicle for Cheney as she weighs a 2024 bid. Some strategists speculate Cheney sacrificed her House seat to maintain her anti-Trump credentials from her work on the January 6th committee, which could then build her a national platform. Live pictures tonight over the Capitol building in D.C., where the investigation into the January 6th attacks continue. And former Vice President Mike Pence is addressing whether he would testify before the committee looking into the attacks if requested. He says he would consider it, but hints that testifying could be a problem.
On the Constitution, we have 3 co-equal branches of government. And any invitation to be directed to me, I would have to reflect on the unique role that I was serving in as Vice President. It'd be unprecedented in history for a vice president to be summoned to testify on Capitol Hill.
The committee has heard from several aides close to Pence, one of whom testified about the pressure former President Trump put on Pence to reject Electoral College votes in 2020. So far, members of the committee have not made such a request to Pence. Back here in Ohio now, where Mason taking center stage for the Western and Southern Open. So yesterday, tennis fans got to see Serena Williams take the court for what may be one of her final matches of her historic career. However, there's still more tennis left to play. Courtney Wheaton is there with what else you can expect from that tournament.
It is so hard to believe that we are halfway through the tournament, and there are some big names here, I tell you. We got to see a small part of Andy Murray's match, and earlier we talked to our friends at the Tennis Channel about what it means to be in Ohio.
The reason the players love it so much is because it's very quaint, and everyone here really knows their tennis. You find a lot of fans coming up saying, I've been coming here for decades, and they tell us stories about the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, so they're able to appreciate the evolution of all the players through the times. And it's very homey. There's great food around here. You got your Skyline chili, you got your graters, but the players love that.
And those tennis experts say the day to be here is this Friday for the quarterfinals, but it is so much to do here for the family and friends. I smell the food behind me, and I might go get something to eat. Back to you.
Courtney, thank you. And in Cincinnati, the Reds are taking to Twitter to announce that Joey Votto is being shut down for the remainder of the season. The first baseman is going to undergo season-ending surgery to repair a torn rotator cuff on Friday. The 38-year-old finished his 16th season with a .205 batting average, which is the worst of his career. Votto, though, hopes to be ready for spring training next season following the expected 6 months of recovery. And Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is speaking to the media for the first time since he had appendix surgery. Burrow is confirming that his appendix did rupture and he doesn't plan to play in the preseason. However, he did return to practice for the first time on Sunday, finally stepped into an 11-on-11 session with the first-team offense.
That's the biggest thing that you need going into week one that we haven't had. I haven't been out there. LC hasn't been out there. We've had some key guys sidelined throughout camp. And so you have to get out there, not just to play together, but to hear how the communication is going to work for week one. So I'm excited to start that today.
Now, Burrow does appear to be thinner, and he also admitted to losing weight. However, he won't say how much. The target for the quarterback is getting ready for the regular season opener against the Steelers on September 11th. Preventing misinformation ahead of November's midterms, the questions some are raising about social media policies and the fears for free speech. And the Ronald McDonald House taking another step towards expansion, the impact that expansion will have on the families they serve and the people overseeing it.
And we're tracking some more rainfall back in the forecast, how much we're expecting coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
We're following breaking news out of Dayton tonight. A live look at the Miami Valley Jail's website as we're just learning that Stephen Marlowe has been booked into the Montgomery County Jail within the last hour. Marlowe, you may remember, is accused of shooting and killing 4 people in Butler Township. He was later found on the run in Kansas. We'll continue to follow this case, and as we learn new information, we'll update you here on air and online at Dayton247now.com. We're turning our focus tonight now to the November midterm elections. This as social media sites are preparing by updating their policies for users. Now, this is all in an effort, they say, to prevent false information from spreading. However, with all the policies and rules in place, some are concerned of the impact it'll have on free speech on the platforms.
When platforms meet with government officials to set election integrity priorities, it creates opportunities for jawboning or informal pressure intended to prompt private action.
So coming up in about 30 minutes over on Fox 45, we'll dive into the questions some are asking about who decides what information stays and what information goes. Well, we're very proud. We're going to be starting a new segment here, and we need your help to fill it. We're calling it Hometown Heroes. So if you know somebody making a difference in the community, please let us know about it. Could be police, fire, military, teacher, or a nurse, doctor. Anyone you think deserves to be recognized. So here's what you need. A picture or video of your nominee with an explanation of why they're a hometown hero. You can submit your nominations through our Dayton 24/7 Now app if you'd like. You just open it up, click on Explore, then click Chime In. And as we get enough submissions, we'll begin airing them right here live on the news.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A few of our meteorologists managed to catch some beautiful pictures this morning. First in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, just before sunrise, and in Beaumont, Texas, an actual sunrise in Las Vegas, Nevada. And speaking of beautiful sights in the sky, tonight the northern lights may make it far enough south into the northern U.S. because of the ongoing strong solar flares, if clear skies cooperate.
Follow the National Weather Desk on your favorite social media platform.
Well, it's been a nice day today. A couple of showers have popped up across the area as we still have this system just off to the east of us. You can see it's been bringing more activity through parts of central Ohio, but a couple of showers have managed to pop up. This is going to dissipate as we look into the evening, but for the rest of the evening, a slight chance for a shower expected for us. This is what we're talking about. Overnight, we do start to see that clearing, and in fact, I do think we could see some areas of fog developing by early tomorrow morning. We'll see temperatures that'll be in the upper 50s. Tomorrow afternoon, rain chances slimmer than what we've had, but it is going to be a little warmer. I think we'll see some mid-80s across the area, and then even warmer for our Friday. We'll see highs back into the mid-80s, and there's just that slight chance for a shower for our Friday, too. But rain chances build in even more by the weekend. I'll talk about that coming up.
3, 2, 1, test.
Montgomery County and Washington Township celebrating the opening of a new roundabout. You can find this roundabout at the Mad River and Alex Bell intersection. County officials say that the roundabout was installed because of heavy traffic residents have dealt with for decades. Township officials say that residents are thrilled with the new roadway.
They can get out of their driveways now. They can stop listening to cars crash into each other. As I said, there might in the beginning be a few minor accidents, but the large crashes will not be taking place any longer.
Now, Washington Township is partnering with Montgomery County to install decorative lighting, an irrigation system also being installed to help with landscaping in the area. Because of this, the roundabout will be shut down for a couple of days in October. The Ronald McDonald House taking another step in expanding its services tonight. Groundbreaking also held today, and it's the new Valley Street location. The multi-million-dollar expansion includes construction on a new 40,000 square foot building, which could hold as many as 42 families at a time once completed. Those who are involved in that expansion explaining to us what it means to them.
My brother, when we were younger, was sick and we had to travel, so we used the Ronald McDonald House a lot for a year. So seeing the benefit and seeing what that did for our family and the other kids that were there and the other families that were there really made it special for us to be able to be personally involved with something like that here.
Now, the Ronald McDonald House allows a place for families to stay while children are in the hospital while maintaining the comforts of home. The current house has room for 14 families. The organization hopes this expansion will help even more children and families together. Preparations are now underway for the 75th annual Bellbrook Lions Festival. And Elise Coulter's here now to explain how you can celebrate this weekend.
If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, head on out to Bellbrook for the 75th annual Bellbrook Lions Club Festival. It's going on Friday and Saturday. they are going to be having a whole lot of food, a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of things going on. Oh, wait, let's stop right here because we've got festival food, kids games, rides, live entertainment. We've got domestic brews. We've got card games. There's all kinds of, a parade is happening. If you want to even see some live music, you've got live music from 7 to 11 Friday night, and then again Saturday from 5 to 11 as well. So make sure you head on out to Bellbrook, right in downtown Bellbrook, if you're looking for something fun, well, fun and family friendly to do this weekend.
Elise, thanks. Well, here's a live look from our Kettering Health Skycam now. Warm weather to start the week. Rain, though, could be returning. Natalie's outside on our Watson's Weather patio now with when you might need that umbrella. Natalie?
Well, right now, you could use an umbrella if you're in Miamisburg. We have a little shower just popped up right over us here. But you saw from the Skycam that elsewhere actually pretty quiet for us. But showers popping up across the area for the rest of this evening. So do keep that in mind. But our rain chances are overall pretty slim. This is a look at what we're talking about for tomorrow. Lower 80s, but we start to climb, warming up even more. 85 Saturday, Sunday as well, and then we drop into the lower 80s because of more rain back in the mix by our Sunday, Monday time frame. So I'm going to take a look at that 7-day forecast, a more detailed look at that coming up here in just a little bit.
Natalie, thanks. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now. Well, there are some teachers that are getting some much-needed help, all thanks to a retail store giant. 2 Franklin County teachers got to go on a shopping spree thanks to Meijer. The teachers given $750 to get whatever they need in their classroom. Officials with Meijer say these 2 teachers were more than deserving.
I teach a cross-categorical classroom, so I have kids with exceptional needs. I have kids that have autism and Down syndrome, and so we do a lot of regular school stuff, but we also do a lot of transitional, like, life skills.
So according to a new survey from Adopt a Classroom, teachers on average spend $750 of their own money on school supplies each year.
I have a couple of showers out there this afternoon, and we'll continue with that through this evening. Tomorrow, a little quieter. High pressure sliding pretty much right over us for tomorrow. Going to keep things on the calm side. That starts to slide off to the east. We start to see things warm up even more by our Friday. And then it's Saturday. We do start to track our next weather maker, which will be an area of low pressure as well as a cold front that will start to approach us from the west. And that's going to increase our rain chances. So you'll see here as we check into our next 7 days that we will be seeing scattered showers, thunderstorms through the weekend and then into next week too. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll see those highs. They'll be in the lower 80s. Lows will be in the lower 60s. So overall going to be on the warm side next several days with temperatures climbing, but then we start to see those bigger rain chances back in the mix as we head into next week. And it's really starting late Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Those are our 2 best chances for rain. And then they start to go down a bit by next Wednesday. But pretty active by the weekend.
Kind of a washout 5 straight days, huh?
Yeah, kind of on and off, though. There'll be some sunshine still.
All right, good deal. Natalie, thanks for being with us. We're over on Fox 45 next.